Hello everyone, welcome to the session. In this session, we'll see about draft tube. First, we'll see what is draft tube. A draft tube is a pipe or a passage of gradually increasing cross-section area which connects the runner exit to the tail race. Okay, once again, a draft tube is a pipe or a passage of gradually increasing cross-sectional area which connects the runner exit to the tail race. So we already seen this. The gradually increasing area of a draft tube will be like this, and at the entrance point of your draft tube there will be a runner exit, and these will be dipped into the tail race. We already seen in the previous sessions, and it may be made of cast or plate steel or concrete. Okay, these draft tubes are made of cast or plate steel or concrete. It must be airtight, and under all conditions of operations its lower end must be submerged below the level of water in the tail race. We already seen this, right? It is already dipped or submerged into the tail race. And one more thing is, it has to be a airtight one. Okay, and the next one, and for this we have two important things for the usage of draft tubes in the reaction turbines. The first one is, it permits a negative or suction head to be established at the runner exit. Okay, runner exit, we already know this. This is a gradual increasing area, and this is your runner exit. At the runner exit, it will create a negative or suction head, thus making it possible to install the turbine above the tail race level without the loss of head. Okay, so if you use this draft tube, okay, you can place your draft runner exit above the tail race. For example, this is the level of your tail race, then you can establish or mount your turbine above the tail race, which is like H. We've seen this in the head and efficiency introduction part. Okay, and this is the head above which you are going to place your runner exit. So because by placing here, there is no losses in the turbines by using your draft tubes. Okay, and moreover, and by placing this draft tube, by this only one definition, we have two benefits. The first one is, while you can mount your turbine above the tail race level without any loss of head, and moreover it can create a negative or suction head which will increase the pressure difference between your tail race and the runner exit. And next, coming to the next point, it converts a large portion of velocity energy rejected from the runner into useful pressure energy. So after runner exit from here, okay, after runner exit, the fluid will come directly without the draft tube into the tail race, right? But if you place the draft tube, then the kinetic energy which is falling, the fluid is falling directly into the tail race, right? And that will convert into a pressure energy by using this draft tube. So the benefit is, you can convert the unwanted which is going to be waste by the velocity energy, and that you can convert into pressure energy, and that will improve your efficiency or work output of your turbine. So by using the draft tube, you can increase your efficiency, you can increase your output of your turbines. But mainly, and one more thing is, by placing your runner above the tail race, there won't be any loss of head, and it will create negative in the suction heads, and it will convert that velocity energy into pressure energy. And we'll see a few more points on this draft tube. In mixed and axial flow turbines, only a part of available energy is converted into velocity energy at the inlet of the runner. Rest is in the form of a pressure energy, right? So that the outlet velocity increases. The outlet velocity increases because of residual pressures is converted into velocity in the runner. Okay, and the next one, in the Pelton wheel, what we seen before is in the mixed and axial flows, but in the Pelton wheel, the loss of energy due to exit velocity varies from 1 to 4%. But we are not going to use draft tube in the Pelton wheels. Okay, in mixed flow turbines, exit energy varies from, that means which is loss of exit energy, which is 4 to 25%. and in axial it is like 20 to 50% of the total head. So these are the losses that are going to take place. But if you use the trap tube, it won't happen in such a way. That means you can reduce this losses in the mixed flow turbine and the axial flow turbine, which are these two are reaction turbines. So we are going to use the trap tubes mainly in the reaction turbines because there will be a huge losses, and you're going to just neglect that losses in the reaction turbine. And next, coming to draft a few more points, we already seen this, which is convert velocity head into pressure or potential head, right? And it is the integral part of mixed and axial flow turbines. Yes, we already seen in the figures of axial flow and the mixed flow turbines. It is placed with respect to your runners, right? And third point, it is possible to have the pressure at the runner outlet much below the atmospheric pressure by creating a suction pressure or negative pressure. So the pressure at the outlet will be very less when compared to the atmospheric pressure. But and here we'll see about degree of reactions. So degree of reaction is designated by R. It is a ratio of change of pressure energy inside a runner. Okay, and to the change of total energy. See, it is only pressure energy, but it is total energy. But here we have only the pressure energy inside the runners. Clear? Once again, the degree of reaction is the ratio of change of pressure energy inside the runner to the change of total energy inside the runner. First, what is change of pressure energy inside the runner per unit weight? So for this is the formula. Okay, this is only the pressure inside the runner per unit weight. And next one, it is a change of total energy per unit weight inside the runner, which is like these are the absolute velocity of your jet, and this is the blade velocity, and this is your relative velocity of the inlets, and the rest of the are exit velocities. And if you resolve these two by placing these two equations in the reaction equation and reaction ratio, you will get this particular equation, which is R equals to 1 minus v1 square minus v2 square divided by v1 square minus v2 square plus u1 square minus u2 square plus vr2 square minus vr1 square. But we already know what is he, right? So if you, this is he, right? If you substitute the same thing in this he, so you're going to get this. But if you just want to reduce that equation, you can make the equation like this. Yes, and we'll see how this degree of reaction is applicable for your Pelton wheel and the reaction turbines. See, for a Pelton wheel or Pelton turbine, we already know such a condition that blade velocities are equal and the relative velocities are equal. And if you substitute these two conditions in the above equation, you are going to get this as your final equation, and these two will get cancels. So what you're going to get is 1 minus 1, which is 0. Simply we can say from the Pelton wheel that we don't have any reactions in the Pelton wheel, right? Is there any reaction? So first, from in your turbines, how you're going to get a reactions? It is the pressure difference between your fixed or guide vanes and runner vanes. So the reactions or the pressure differences will happen in these two while passing the fluid between these two, right? But here in the Pelton wheels, we don't have any fixed or guided vanes, so it is directly impinging on a runners. So we don't have any pressure energies or difference of pressures, and there is no formation of reactions. But here we have a few things like reaction pressure. Because of that, reaction is happening. And simply for a actual reaction turbines, if you resolve by the conditions, you are going to get this formula, which is R equals to 1 minus cot alpha divided by 2 cot alpha minus cot theta. Clear? So from this equation also, we can say that R equals to 0. That means there is no reactions in the Pelton wheel. And by seeing this, you can say that there will be reactions in the reaction turbines. And if you know what is the jet angle and the blade angle, if you substitute here, you are going to get what is the reaction of that particular turbine, like if it is like a mixed flow turbine or axial flow turbine. Now we will see simple terms like specific speed. So it is designated as ns, and it is defined as a speed of a geometrical similar turbine like a actual turbine. So it is a similar to the actual turbine which would develop at unit power when working under unit head. See, the actual turbine cannot produce a unit power under unit head, right? But if it is producing from similar triangles or from similar geometry of your turbines, you can have this, like you can produce a unit power under unit heads. So if it is possible in the actual turbine also, you can possible that way. So that means you can study about your unit power under unit heads for the actual turbines also. So for this, what you're going to take is ns equals to n. This is the specific speed, is the normal speed of your actual turbine. This is the power that is going to produce, and this is the at. Okay, and now if you replace this, what you're going to get is n is h to the power of 5 divided by 4, and that equals to n into square root of p. So now what I want to say is, if you know the unit head and the specific speed which you are taking by geometrical way, so you can able to find this actual speed of your actual turbines. So in this way you can find it. Okay, and the next we'll see unit quantities, and these quantities are obtained when head on the turbine is unity. Okay, unit quantities, you can find this. So see, the main importance of this unit quantities is, if your turbine is working under different heads, the behavior of the turbine known from unit quantities. And moreover, see, if you want to know any quantity, with this particular equation, okay, nu, if you know the unit quantity and if you know the unit head, you can able to get the actual speed of your or actual quantity of your turbine. So before that, you should know the unit quantity and the unit head. And moreover, if you want to take different heads, okay, and what is your particular quantity at that different head? For example, this head is 1 unity, then you will get this particular speed when you if you know the unit speed. And if the head is like 2, that means it is varying. If you are substituting the different head like 2, 3, 4 different heads you are substituting here, and if you know the unit speed of that particular turbine, you can able to find the speed of that particular turbine. You can able to know the quantity of that particular turbine. So speed and the discharge and the power can able to find if you know the unit quantities of that. Clear? And if you substitute different heads, then you can able to know the behavior of the turbines. Clear? Thank you.